Hello, now several of my regular viewers have requested this video because recently I talked about how I started to drink a lot more green tea and herbal teas than I ever have, and the possibilities of pairing these beverages with a pipe tobacco, and a lot of you asked for this video, and so here it is. So welcome back to the Tainted Tavern. Coming to the Tainted Tavern, come sit. Okay, now green tea has a lot of health benefits. It's rich in antioxidants. It can lower cholesterol. It can lower blood pressure. It's supposedly good for brain function. You know, there are a lot of claims made for green tea and a lot of scientific evidence to back up a lot of that. So today we are going to pair a green tea, which is largely seen as something totally healthy, with a pipe of good tobacco, which is sometimes seen as something not quite so healthy. Just going to look at the subject as this. So today's green tea I'm going to be drinking, and the pronunciation is probably going to be all over the shop. This is a loose leaf green tea that contains roasted brown rice. It's often called popcorn tea by some because it does have that kind of popcorny taste, notes of popcorn to it. And this is genmaicha sencha. It's a mix of China sencha green tea with roasted brown rice. Makes this unique tea of grassy and nutty flavor profile with subtle notes of sweetness. So I'm just going to put the kettle on to boil a minute here. And show you the teapot that I bought to produce my to prepare my green tea. And it's just this little thing here. It's got an infuser there. So you just put the tea leaves into there. Now you can get a lot of green tea in tea bags, but since I've been drinking green tea regularly, I found that I much prefer loose leaf green tea. I find it gives a better flavor. Now, to prepare your green tea, you don't want to use boiling water straight out of the kettle. The kettle's just it off there. Just going to give it a moment to cool down slightly, because it does definitely affect the flavor. Now, I didn't come up with this theory myself. I read it when I was exploring green teas and going on websites devoted to green teas, and they were saying not to put the water immediately over the leaves whilst it's boiled. Just give it a minute, because boiled water does lose its temperature really quickly. So what we're going to do, we're going to put in a nice a couple of spoons of this green tea. This is what it's like in the bag. Now, the kettle's at a moment now. It's probably been hit off boil about 2 minutes ago. So now what I find when I pour in, I like to lift the kettle so the water comes through in a steady trickle and very gently goes through that. Now immediately I'm getting this popcorny aroma here. We're going to leave that to stew for just a couple of minutes. Green tea doesn't generally need as long stewing time. And I'm going to show you some of the other green teas that I've added to my collection. Not only green teas, but brown teas as well, and herbal teas. I've really got into it. This year are Tea Pig's chamomile flower. So this is a herbal tea. This is a chamomile tea. I've got Riobosh here, which is an interesting tea. It's a brown tea or a black tea, which is like the tea that we usually drink from day to day. But it's a lot more strong in terms of taste. I've got here some green tea from Charbrew, which come in bags. A lovely little jar there as well, which I can later use for storing tobacco. As I say, these come in bags, but they're pyramid bags, which supposedly allows the flavour to better permeate into the tea. And of course they are biodegradable tea bags, so they go straight into my compost. I've got just a basic ginger and lemon infusion there from the co-op, an herbal tea. I've got a lot of these. I really like Twinings under the name Glow, which is a strawberry and cucumber herbal tea mixed with a green tea. I really find that nice. I've got some gunpowder here, which is a very strong green tea. in terms of flavour. I've got some Assam tea bag here. So I've been experimenting a lot. There are more in there, but the video would go on too long if I showed you them all. So I've been experimenting a lot with green teas over the last few months, and I'm going to be smoking a K-woody pipe today with my tea. What a wonderful civilized way to spend an hour. And this whole K-woody is filled up with Clan tobacco, Clan formerly known as Clan Aromatic, now called Clan Original, which is an OTC, that is over-the-counter tobacco over here in the UK, readily available. This tobacco is derided by a lot of people, a lot of pipe smokers, because they say it burns too hot and it causes tongue bite, but I don't agree with that. I think if smoked correctly, Clan does give a really good smoke. So unmistakable flavour as well, Clan. You can't mistake it for anything else. That room note is quite delicious. There's 14 different tobaccos used in this blend to make up Clan tobacco. There you are. The green tea now is probably at about 3 minutes stewing, which is a little longer really than recommended for green tea. It doesn't really need a lot of stewing time. It's probably about 2 minutes, but I'm used to this tea, so the pungent flavour's not going to work me. So I'll just pour it out into a clear glass here. Winston Churchill famously enjoyed his tea, but he famously despised green tea. He called it grass water. But as you can see there in the cup, there it is. It's a nice clear green. Now the way I drink my green tea, I always add an addition of a little honey, just a little honey to sweeten it somewhat. And honey, of course, is more of a natural sweetener than sugar. So then when the honey's in, I'll stir it around. Let the honey fully dissolve. And we've got a perfect, enjoyable morning ritual here, green tea in a pipe, which I do now most mornings. The green tea, the genmaicha sencha, it really has got that popcorn-y taste. If you nose it, it gives an aroma almost like a freshly mown summer meadow. It really is that fresh smelling. It's quite delicious, and it pairs really well with the Clan tobacco. And the reason I chose Clan for this review, for pairing with the green tea, is Clan is a mixture of 14 different tobaccos. It's got a myriad of flavours as you're puffing down through the pipe, and it does have some toppings. Well, it's an aromatic tobacco, it has a lot of toppings, but primarily it seems to be a whiskey kind of topping. So Clan gives a good robust, not necessarily sweet, but bitter either, and it pairs well with the sweetness. That really is a good green tea. One of the green teas I've really enjoyed, I like gunpowder. Gunpowder though is more suited, I think, to Latakia heavy English blends. It's got that kind of campfirey smokiness which it shares with an English tobacco blend. But when drinking something light and airy such as this genmaicha, or popcorn tea as people call it, I'll have to keep referring to it as popcorn tea since I can pronounce that. Something like Clan goes really well. It's a great juxtaposition between the flavours from the pipe and the flavours from the tea. They really seem to complement each other.